What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Austin Dorman Show. I'm your host, Austin Dorman. And first off, I just want to say thank you so much for listening to this first podcast episode, and thank you for being part of my journey. Podcasting is something new that I haven't done before, so I'm excited to see how far this goes. Now, we're going to keep episode one brief, but there's three things that we're going to cover. The first one is, what is the Austin Dorman Show and what to expect? The second is reasons for starting a podcast. And the last one is just a few items just to keep in mind before you jump into episode number 2. What is the Austin Dorman Show? The Austin Dorman Show is a podcast dedicated to helping entrepreneurs, creators, and dreamers build businesses and lives that truly matter. It's basically a way for us to grow together, both in business and in life. The topics that we're going to be covering will range from business and entrepreneurship, marketing and sales funnels, personal development, and just other life lessons. These are all topics I'm really passionate about, so I can't wait to jump right in. The second thing that I wanted to talk about is the reasons for starting a podcast, and there's a few. The first one is I want to document my journey. And so this podcast is essentially going to be a journal. It's going to be a way for me to share what I'm learning and doing, my successes and failures, and basically it's going to be a way for you to be part of my journey. And I hope that by you being a part of my journey, it'll in return help you in your own personal and business journey as well. Now, the second reason for starting a podcast is I want this to be a way to share knowledge and information. I've been fortunate enough to go to many conferences and events over the years. I've been able to listen to a lot of podcasts and read a lot of books. And so I basically want this to be a way for me to share my own insights and what I'm learning along the way. Also, we're going to have some guest experts. These are people that I met over the years through various conferences and events, and these are people that I really admire. This is a way for us to learn together, learn from them, and also for you to get to know them as well. Now, the last reason for starting a podcast is I want to be able to give back to my audience and my community. You may have followed me on social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook. You may have even watched some of my YouTube tutorial videos, but basically with this podcast, I want this to be a way to serve you in a different way, where you could get to know me better, where you could hear some of my stories and experiences in hopes to help you. The hope and the dream is that this podcast could impact the lives of hundreds, thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, or even millions of people. But honestly, if this podcast can impact the life of just one person, I would say that's a win in my book. Now, the third thing that I just want to talk about is a few things before you jump into episode number 2. The first thing is to make sure you subscribe wherever you're listening to, whether it's Spotify, Apple Music, or YouTube. This is just a way for you to be notified of future episodes and when they drop. The second thing is to make sure you sign up for my email newsletter. I'll put the link inside the show notes in the description section. This is basically a way for me to communicate to you, let you know when the episodes are dropped, and then also to be able to share any business tips, tricks, and recommendations. And the last thing is to make sure that you follow me on social. I'll put the links in the show notes in the description section as well. And this is a way for me to connect with my audience and listeners. In summary, I'm just so glad that you're here with me on the ride. Thanks so much for listening to episode number 1. And in episode number 2, we're going to talk about the hero's journey. And I'll be sharing some stories of my own life. And I hope that by understanding the hero's journey and listening to some of my experience, that you'll be able to understand where you're at in your own hero's journey. So that's that for episode number 1. Thank you so much again for listening, and welcome to the Austin Dorman Show, and we'll see you in episode number 2.